terms of the logics that are moving quickly here, just to show you how this with linguistic racism works with this paradigm that Dr. Nichols has laid out. We have, let's see, a plus sign here, a minus sign here. Now, in math, the plus sign tells us to do what as an operation? Add. Tells us to add. And it tells us what as a value? Positive. And the minus sign tells us what as an operation? Subtract. And a negative. Now let's write down a few things according to a white supremacist model, what would be positive. And then on the other side, particularly those of you who've been through the workshop, you know where we're going with this. So let's put the word white, no, male, rich, smart, moral, majority, private, valid, insured, and sane. And let's end on a happy note, let's say alive. The opposite of white, the opposite of male, the opposite of rich, the opposite of smart. Doesn't seem to dispel them stupid, y'all. Moral, immoral, majority, minority, private, public, valid, invalid, or how else could you say that word? Invalid, insured, uninsured, sane, insane, alive, dead. All of these things Dr. Nichols has been talking about, right? Let's look at this part of the dichotomy real quickly and put education and housing and health care and assistance. And ask the question again, what is the operation that's going on in the halls of Congress with respect to the monies for public education? Are they adding to it? Are they taking away from it? And which is valued most? The private education or the public education? Housing, are they adding to public housing or are they taking away from it? And which has got the highest value? Health care. They're taking away from it, and which has the highest value? Assistance. They're taking away from it. Now, there's other things that we can point out about this, but just moving across here, it says technology. All sets are repeatable and reproducible. This is the way it is all over the country, isn't it? Not only is this the way it is all over the country, this is the way it is inside of each one of our minds as we understand the English language. Because unless you're an artist, unless you sing and moan, or you can do a picture, or you can do something else, you can't think and express your thought without using a word. If all the words that you have at your disposal have you coming up short, then you will logically be coming up short, according to the language. And all over the place, you will see these kinds of things repeated and reproduced. So then, in conclusion, I'll just say that when you listen to what Dr. Nichols has been talking about, it's not just what he's saying, but it's how it can be applied to other things that you might even be interested in. I mean, we're not even going to talk about the development of our intuition. Dr. Nichols talked about spirituality as something that is disregarded. Did you know that your spirituality is another capacity for knowing?
Yeah.
I mean, do they test your spirituality on the SAT test?
No.
That's because they can't count and measure it, but it is a way of knowing.
Yes.
So then it's in these kinds of institutions of higher learning where we are right now, where we can first of all know that we have that capacity and also be able to develop it, and then using the kind of scientific framework that Dr. Nichols has provided us with, look at language. And I'll just say this last thing in closing. There's a linguist that worked for MIT named Harold Laswell, wrote a book called The Language of Politics. And he said that the weapon, the word is a weapon. He likened the word to a weapon. But he says that the word is a weapon because it's like a bullet or a missile, because both can inflict damage at a long distance. We have a long distance from the development of words like Negro, mulatto, quadroon, and octoroon, but here we're still running around calling ourselves a minority, wounded from a distance by something in the way that we see ourselves. So then words, sticks and stones can break our bones, but words can alter your reality. So then when we're talking about this, we're not just talking about changing words, but we got to do something about changing our reality. And that's where this whole thing with the Ma'afa really comes into play, because this is a spiritual way that we can begin to change our reality in here and then have the strength to go out and really do something about it in the society. Thank you.